Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Fab Academy Global Open Day. This will be a session where we will explore and explain a little bit further into what the program is about and a couple of changes that we have made throughout the way. So, as you all know, this is a distributed educational program that has been running for at least 17 editions so far. And just to introduce myself, my name is Norel Coronel. I'm the communications admin of Fab Academy, and here with a team of global instructors and global instructors and alumni. We will be presenting to you today a little bit about the program. I'm going to walk you through a little bit of the schedule. So we will have a little intro from our director, Neil Gershenfeld. Then we will have a walkthrough of what are the changes for this year's program with the global representative, an intro about the program from our coordinator and dean of the program, and then a little bit of impact stories from some of our global leads. And we'll finalize with one of at least one of our last year's experiences of the program. So we will have an open session at the end for Q&As. So if you have any questions, start dropping them in the chat. And you're free to unmute by the end of the session if you want to have an open question. So without further ado, I'll pass it along to our director, Neil Gershenfeld.
Great. Thank you, Norella. Great to see all of you. So I lead the Center for Bits and um, see, can somebody mute them? I lead the Center for Bits and Atoms at MIT that studies how digital becomes physical, doing basic research on digital fabrication. We run a facility with tools to make nano, micro, meso, macro structures. To teach students to use it, I began a class called How to Make Almost Anything that became one of the most oversubscribed classes at MIT. Given that demand, we started outreach, setting up mini versions of the MIT lab. The research you can think is leading up to how you make a replicator from Star Trek. And the lab is sort of a mini version today. We started setting up Fab Labs. They accidentally went viral. They're now in 150 countries, thousands around the world. The labs acted as magnets for bright, inventive people who often didn't fit in local education. And so we started a program called the Fab Academy that teaches the class I teach at MIT, but now globally. So instead of 100 students, it's 100 sites, but it's a really interesting blended model. Each site has a peer group of students working together with a local mentor expert and all of the machines. And then we connect them globally with video and content sharing. So it's not simply online, but it's a distributed model. And it's been unexpectedly important. It synthesizes best practices from the network, helps propagate them. It creates a collaborating cohort. And over, although we didn't plan it this way, students find it's life-changing. We have homeschooled prodigies who don't fit. We have students wondering, do they want to go to college or do this instead? Students who went to college but didn't learn how to do much doing this. People retraining mid-career, people towards the end of a career looking for something different, many different life stages. But over and over, this synthesis of working in these communities locally, connected globally, changes lives. And you'll hear lots of examples today. So now in the Fab Lab network, we're transitioning from 1.0 to 2.0, which is from buying machines to using machines to make machines. So learning how to do rapid prototyping of rapid prototyping. And one of the things we'll be teaching is machine building. So you can learn not just to use the machine, but to make the machine. Along the way, you'll learn many other things. Other names for the class are how to almost make anything or how to fail at almost anything. You'll fail often and you'll learn a lot about project management and learning from failure. But one of the exciting things we're doing this year is I've done this for many, many years. And so as we begin to look beyond me, we're moving into Fab Academy 2.0. where I'm still curating everything, but now I'm bringing in a select group of global leaders to help cover classes. So in this cycle, I'll directly be teaching. I used to do absolutely everything. In this cycle, I'll be teaching about half of the classes. And then we have remarkable leaders, and some of them are on the call I see today, and we can introduce global leaders to pick up from me and teach about half of the classes. So that's who I am. That's what a quick dose of what Fab Academy is. Now I have to run off to an MIT event. So with that, I'll leave you in the capable hands of this group. And I look forward to seeing you when we start in the spring. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you, Neil. And now we're going to follow up with what Neil just said in terms of that 2.0 version of Fab Academy. And for that, let me introduce you to Adrian Torres. He's going to be representing today the lead global instructors, and he will introduce you a little bit more of what those changes mean. Adrian?
Hello, everyone. My name is Adrian Torres. I work as a railway professional at ADIF, and I also part of Global Fab Academy community. I graduated in Fab Academy in 2020 in Fab Lab Leon, and since then I've been involved as an instructor, project member, mentor, and contributor in documentation, electronics, and communication within the global network. Next slide, please. Over the years, we've been seeing the Fab Academy grow tremendously, not only in the number of the students and labs, but also in the structure supporting the program. This year, we have a stronger and more diverse teaching team than ever before. 9 global faculty, 18 global instructors, and 14 global support instructors. This expanded team allows us to provide more specialized guidance, better follow-up, and wider range of expertise for students across the world. Next slide, please. The Fab Academy curriculum continues to evolve while maintaining its core philosophy of hand-ons on learning and global collaboration. Each assignment is guided either by a member of global faculty, if you can see in this table, by Neil Gershenfeld, or by a group of global instructors who lead weekly classes, creative content, and support evaluation and documentation. This distributed structure ensures that every topic, from electronics and digital fabrication to machine building, networking, or project management, has clear leadership and expert mentors available to all the students. I'm proud to be part of this international teaching ecosystem, helping students develop their skills, complete their final projects, and become active creators in Fab Lab network. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adrian. And with that, we're going to follow along with what this program is about and a little bit more onto what are your expectations on how to follow along with Fab Academy. So I'm going to introduce you to Luciana Asinari, our global coordinator and dean. Luciana?
Hello, everybody. Good morning or good night, wherever you are. Welcome to this open day. We're very happy to be able to have you here and explain a bit about how this wonderful work that we do. I've been the coordinator for Fab Academy for many years. I've been supporting Fab Academy and the Fab Lab network for more than 10 years. I am based in Fab Lab Barcelona, but together working with this incredible community that you will see and meet along the program. I will give you a very short introduction of what the course is. Probably you already know, but just to be clear on where we're at, and a bit introduction over the schedule, so we are clear also in how the cycle runs. As a coordinator, I will be the one that you have constant contact with all the things regarding the structure of the course, regarding visas, acceptance letters, payments, etc. I will be supporting you in all the domestic things, let's say, and then for the content and projects, etc., you will have your instructors and you will have all the global faculty that will be supporting you in the global and review classes. Nore, if you can go to the next one. Okay, so what is Fab Academy? This is a crash course. We call it a crash course in the sense that there is a very comprised program, very fast-paced. Fab Academy has 20 weeks of introduction to different tools for rapid prototyping. This is a very hands-on project-based program. What it means, every week you will be introduced to a new tool and a new technology that you will have to learn and deploy and document to be able to continue your learning journey. And then you will end up integrating in a final project. This is important because it's, again, very fast-paced, and it will sort of push you beyond the technical skills per se, will sort of force you to keep a rhythm and earn resilience in project management, etc. This is why it's very important what you document aside from what you experience. We sort of said that this is you sort of learn on how to learn again, in the sense that it might not be the classical paradigm of education, in which you just sit down and take a lot of information and then you do something at the end. It will really need for you to engage weekly and for you to be able to go step by step, allowing yourself to learn, but also connecting to other people like around you doing the same thing. We are very proud of sharing the same philosophy that the Fab Lab network has, which is this is an open source environment, both hardware and software. We try to use those as much as we can, and everything that we do, we document, we show, we tell the good things and the mistakes. Everything it's supposed to be there because we are building this layer by layer, a massive space for learning and sharing, etc. So open source is a proud element of what we do. And this is distributed. This is what sort of Neil mentioned at the beginning, distributed in the sense that you will be a student in a Fab Lab, but you will also be a student in a digital global campus with 200 other students from all the corners of the world, from rural India to big cities to whatever you mentioned or you think. You have people there doing the same experience from you. And this is very interesting because it will help you to understand your process from the looks of others, because you will be able to share with them in many moments of the class. And this is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And this will give you a sense of completion at the end, and you will understand why you go through all these steps. It's very intense. It will require that you put a lot of time into this, but it will be a life-changing experience for most of you, I think. Nore, can we go to the schedule now? So, although the class period runs for 5 months, there's a sense of extended cycle throughout the year, because students don't never fail Fab Academy. You just keep trying until you finish documentation and you graduate. This means that we have some cutoffs for evaluations at the end of the program. I'll explain now. But if you don't make it to the first cutoff, there's a second cutoff that you can finish your documentation and graduate in the same cycle. And yet, after the first cycle, you can continue working until you actually finish it. This is a good idea for people that has to sort of combine it with other programs or with life or a job, etc. It's important that you focus, you put your focus on the classes, because that will happen once a year, but the rest of the year you can continue your work and be able to graduate. So we start with classes on the 21st, I think it is, of January. Before that, we will have an instructors and students bootcamp. You will be probably invited to attend the student bootcamp. It's a short bootcamp, it's online, it's not mandatory, but it's for those people that sort of want a soft landing into the program and understand a bit the tools and how the environment is and how it works. We'll be informing you on when that happens. Then you will be attending the global lectures, in which the global faculty will be introducing you to all these new topics, and the global instructors will be supporting you through a process of we call it the random review. Every class we do reviews of the past class, so students get to present randomly the project that they've been sort of working on throughout the week. You will be also attending local classes with your notes that will sort of help you unpack all this information that you get on the Wednesday classes. And then you will meet with your mentors and instructors according to the local schedule. Once we have all the class period done, this will finish around June. The first 2 weeks in June, we will have final presentations. Throughout the last parts of the program, you will learn how to integrate all the tools and all the knowledge you've been sort of getting throughout the process to be able to develop and package and present a final project, your own individual final project based on whatever you want to prototype and showcase. You will be presenting it to your peers. This is what we call final presentations. You come, you share with your peers what you've done, and then you get like the next step, which is the global evaluation process. The global evaluation process starts throughout the year because each week you will be documenting and the instructors will be sort of following you throughout this documentation process, but we will have like a final sprint during July in which you will get the second layer of evaluation, which is the global evaluation. We will explain all this later on many times, so it's clear for everybody. But you basically will be evaluated by your instructors in your classroom, but also by other instructors and mentors that don't know you directly, because you will be evaluated based on what you document on your website. So it's very important that everything that you do, you document. You take pictures, you write notes, you have all this information very fresh because you will be asked to upload this weekly in your personal websites. So it's very important that at the end of this process, you have been keeping the pace on documenting, which is as important as the learning part. You will sort of present your final project, get evaluated during this first cycle of evaluation. And if you graduate, you get to graduate in the global conference when we do the annual graduation. So this year we'll have the Fab 26 in Boston. It will be a great opportunity to meet all your peers and all the rest of the community. This is an annual event that happens in one city each year, different city, and it's a global gathering. So you get to see not only your Fab Academy peers, but all the rest of the network and all the people working in similar things as you are. So during this first round of evaluation, if you graduate, you get a free ticket to enter to the conference and you get to receive your diploma there. If you don't manage to make it for this course, for this cut, let's say, there's an extended evaluation process that goes from September to December. You won't have access to classes. You probably may or may not have access to the Fab Lab, but you can keep documenting, and we will do a final round of evaluation in December. So you get to graduate in the same year you enrolled. And in this case, if you graduate then, you will be having access and graduating in the next global conference. Now we are in the process of applications and registrations. We pretty much have sort of closed the list of notes that will be teaching the course for this year. So if you go to the website, you will find a list of the notes that are available. If you are close to another Fab Lab that is not listed, let us know. Maybe there's a way we can arrange it. But basically, you have to enroll to an existing note. Applications will close in December 25th. We will go case by case to see if we have spots available for those who don't make the cut, but we strongly suggest that if you have clear that you want to do it, you enroll as soon as possible because some notes run out of spaces. And I think that's it. I would leave time for my colleagues to keep telling you about Fab Academy. Thank you. You probably have my email because I already sent you something. So please, I'll write it down now in the chat if you need it. Whatever question you have, whoever you want to contact, don't hesitate to contact me. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Luciana. And now we're going to move along, as Luciana was mentioning, to our experience and impact. So we want to walk you through with a couple of people that have done the program and now are helping us support the program globally, and that have created a sort of impact within their community space, people that have been doing the program for the last 17 years. Not all of them for 17 years, but we have a strong cohort. So I want to introduce you to Rico. He's a lead global instructor from Japan. Rico?
Hi, guys. My name is Rico Kantaram. I'm talking to you from Kamakura, Japan. I graduated from the Fab Academy program in 2019, and I've been an instructor for the program since, having taught students here in Japan as well as remotely in Indonesia, Bhutan, Australia. Well, the Fab Academy program, no lie, is a tough and demanding program. So why should you do it? When I'm asked this question, I often tell people that if you finish the program, you're going to feel like a superhero, or at least you're going to feel like the winner of the Squid Games challenge. The reward and challenges of the hardships that you will face during the program will be the discovery by you that you have capabilities that you didn't even know that you had. To get technical, I guess you're going to go from a passive consumer of technology to one who is active and capable of making impact capable technology tools. So to move from, this program was initially called How to Make Almost Anything at MIT. So when you graduate, you're going to move from the how to the what next and why. You might even get a job. The documentation that we were just joking about in the chat is going to be your portfolio. It's going to be what you will show to potential employers, what you're capable of doing, how smart and organized you are able to survive this tough program over the 6-month period. For me in particular, after 2 career changes, the Fab Academy program led me to my passion and my purpose. It really, then let me go to the next slide, please. I think the biggest takeaway or the biggest benefit that I got out of the Fab Academy program is that graduation for you will mean that you will have a lifelong membership to the global Fab Lab network, which is a community of very passionate, very smart, very creative, sharing and collaborative group of people. An instant group of Fab friends that you can reach out to at any time, probably 24/7 for help, advice, or relationship advice or whatever. So a lot of you are using ChatGPT right now to get your answers. Why do that when you have the Fab network and you can get a rapid response group of friends to give you the answers that you need any time of the day? What else here? Opportunities. Yeah. So what have I been able to do as a part of this network? As I mentioned, I've been remote instructor for several labs around the region. But having graduated from this program, I've been asked to be a teaching resident at Tongji University in China on K-12 education. I've been asked to lead 2 Fab Challenge camps in Indonesia with Gajah Mada University. And last year, I had a student who is an employee at the Toyota Motor Corporation to help develop what is now known as the Fab Labable Kinetic Seat. So anyway, in addition to making a bunch of really great friends who you'll never forget, many of my friends are on this call right now, you are going to have access to new opportunities that you probably never thought that you could get access to. That's it from me. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat and I'll answer right away.
Thank you so much, Rico. Yeah, he is one of our beloved friends that has joined many, many projects throughout his adventure with the Fab Academy program. And now we're going to go to someone that will inspire you. I want to introduce you to Beno Juarez. He has been a long time instructor and ambassador of the Fab Lab network. So without further ado, I think Beno can explain himself better than I do. So Beno?
Thank you, Nore, and thank you, Fab friends. Yeah, well, I am Fab Academy graduated 2010, and definitely this experience was a turning point in my life. It's because Fab Academy is not just to use technology or learning how to use technology, it's how to create it. And if you join this superpower with the principle of democratization, it means how can we provide solutions grounded in our community. We have an amazing cocktail for a global impact. So in this sense, I would love to share with you the video, please. Well, this is a very, very short video. Maybe it will run in mute, please. I can explain a little bit what we are doing here in the Amazon rainforest, where I am working or putting the most of my effort, because I come from this land. So we are developing a new concept that this is a forest Fab Lab, because the forest is the ancestral Fab Lab, where you can find materials, process, etc. But we are losing all these amazing labs, or bio labs, or indigenous labs. Not only we are not just losing the biodiversity, we are also losing the local guardians. It means the young people, the kids that don't want to be there. They want to leave because they don't find opportunities. So Fab Lab, to me, is not just an opportunity to develop our capabilities. It's a bridge to bring these capabilities, for example, to people in the jungle, in the middle of apparently nothing, to create their own future, or to create their own technologies associated to their cosmovision, their local resources, etc. So we are prototyping many different strategies to arrive to the most excluded areas. It means communities that don't have access to internet, don't have access to electricity, etc. But they have something similar language. It's creating by doing. And this is amazing, because one of the most important philosophies in the Fab Lab is creating by doing. It's something that the ancestral communities also practice. They don't want to theorize too much. It's great to the theory, but when we create something together in a local or global community, the transformation happens. So this is part of the prototypes that we are doing, and part of our biggest dream, that this is a floating lab that could navigate the rivers and tributaries, to democratizing the access to this technology. So local communities are joining their own resources, their own cosmovision, and with this global technology and community also prototyping a world where they can find opportunities in their own land, and they can share these opportunities to the rest of the world. So at the end, this is a space to share our passion, our heart, and our hope. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Benno. I think that's what we all need, a little bit of encouragement on why this is needed and possible. So with that, we're going to travel from Peru to India. And I'm going to introduce you to Pratnya. She's going to be one of our Support Global instructors. Pratnya, are you here?
Yes, thank you, and hello everyone. I'm Pradnya Shindekar, and I'm an electrical engineer, and I have completed my post-graduation in project management. I have graduated Fab Academy in 2016, and I have 5 years of industrial experience and 9 years of rural technology and Fab Lab experience. So I'm an instructor since 2016. Also, I'm a co-founder of Pioneer EduTech Private Limited. It's in Ratnagiri. It's a small village. So, okay, let's start with the experience. Next slide. Okay, after Fab Academy, I can say my life changed a lot in a lot of ways. I moved from basic engineering skill to digital fabrication skill. Like I'm confidently using CNC machining, 3D printing, and electronics. Also, Fab Academy taught me to think like breaking big problems into small testable steps. And during this course, I was confused like many times, with the assignment and some machine process and everything. So weekly reviews and mentoring and interaction with global community improved my technical depth and confidence. And then I feel more capable of guiding and running the makerspace independently. And also student learn by doing, experimenting, or creating instead of memorizing. And also student can gain confidence to design and build their own ideas with these skills. They become like future ready. And Fab Academy is not just a course, it's a mindset, like it's shift for both instructor and student. Next slide, please. Okay, so being a part of global network, it opened me many opportunities that I didn't have before. Like I connected with the experts and peers worldwide, which helped me to learn new things and project collaborations. I also got more recognition for my work. I participated in global conference. I invited to join discussion, workshops, review session beyond my region. And I want to say thank you here to like during pandemic, my global connection helped me even more with guidance of Nuria, like from the Lyon Fab Lab. She helped me to learn like how to make PPE kit and face shield locally. So because of that, I can like locally produce and distributed it. Next slide. So yes, the program has like strong impact on my community. Like after the Fab Academy, I have started the livelihood training center in my town. So we provide modern machine tools access to near their home to community. And I'm trying to bring rural youth into the technology. So there is one video when like 3-4 students from the my makerspace, they have started their business. So that video is playing. So yes, so these things we are doing with the rural communities, and like we are trying to give them more access and more things with this community, and really thankful to get connected with this community. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Pratnya, for your experience and also the impact that you're making within your community. I think that's one of the key starting points of where you should also think it's not just about the project that you do, but how do you also connect with your nearby community. So now we're going to go into our alumni experience. And I think one of our last year's students will say it better than any of us. She had a wonderful experience last year, and I want you to introduce you to Camila Luna. She was an alumni from last year, and she did her Fab Academy in Spain. Camila?
Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so excited to hear everyone. And as well as Rico mentioned, it's so glad to see so many familiar faces, great friends after such a long time. So I wanted to say, first of all, like, thank you for inviting me today for the Global Open time. I think it was like really important to share to the new students or like interesting on joining the Fab Academy a little bit about how was it. So it was completely an amazing experience. You can pass the slide. Thank you, Norella. You're lovely. So for me, it was an amazing experience. So I'm originally from Mexico. I'm a maker, educator, creative person that likes to talk about technology and stuff like that. So I create a nonprofit next to my brother, which we like to share digital fabrication, storytelling, science, technology. And during the time, we have worked with different brands and organizations, all related to educational content. So I have a close approach to what digital fabrication was, but for me, joining Fab Academy was the perfect opportunity, the perfect space for learning. Felt like a complete process, which is like practical, fast, and collaborative. So you can constantly working on the different machines and creating and actually discovering next to a really big cohort around the world. So for me, it was really, that's what it was the first thing that I thought about Fab Academy. I was like, this is the best opportunity to have to learn deeply about the tools and what can I make, and also challenge myself every week to create something with it. So I think that every week push myself technically and creatively as well, and in every sense, definitely. And I think Fab Academy feel like a perfect storm, like intense, hands-on, deeply community driven, and I really, really enjoy the program. I think for me, I learned like a lot of different things from my personal professional life. I already have a bit of experience, but honestly, I feel like after you do Fab Academy, you deep dive completely into the different tools and dynamics. And one of the things that I enjoyed the most was actually the mindset that changed afterwards. You know, how it's important to be documenting everything, taking photos of everything, to how you even could explain things and how could you communicate those was like one of the most interesting things that I rescue for the whole experience. And also the feedback from the community, like creating, it's amazing. But when you have such a big group of people that it's open to hear your thoughts, that has done something similar or maybe not, and they give you feedback that help you debug and also try further or even change different approaches. So for me, it was incredible valuable every moment during Fab Academy. And I think also this kind of environment accelerate your skills in a way that you don't expect. You know, the workload is intense, the weekly assignments, the documentation, the final project deadline, but that's exactly what make it your abilities become sharper. You learn to design, to prototype, to test, to fail, to iterate, and while you document all at once. So it was really, really interesting. And one of the things that I enjoyed the most as well was presenting on Fab 25 conference, you know, to share and to see all my different all the students that were with me as well, and you know, get the certificate after such a long time of period of investing and more. um, and now that after I graduate, I feel like Fab 25, like, you know, the global event was a perfect moment to celebrate, to recharge batteries as well after such a long time of prototyping, and now continue growing as well. I think how mentioned in the past, my website, Fab Academy, becomes a portfolio of my skills and my work, and also my perseverance and values. So now I use it mostly to, you know, to show more of what I do. So right now I'm working on the version of my final project that has some major upgrades, so me and my brother, we can launch it as one of our products in our nonprofit. You know, what I created was a interactive electronic learning system. um, and also now I joined, currently I'm living in Belgium. I'm working in a school here. So honestly, the approach of how teaching was during the Fab Academy also made me super interesting and wanted to teach more people about it. So now I'm in Belgium on a school teaching as well to a lot of youngers and people. So it's such an interesting thing because Fab Academy just opened this door to an amazing community of friends and people that is amazing. And I also feel like, you know, after Fab Academy and showing my project, there was a lot of people who also reach out and were like, you know, you could use this or you can make this. And also that helped me to see how important it is to collaborate and be part of this. So I'm really glad to be part of Fab Academy cohort, to be honest. So thank you.
Thank you, Camila. Yeah, I think you are one of those that have inspired not just your generation, but the past generation and can potentially do it for the future generation of Fab Academy students and alumni. So thank you so much for your explanation and being an inspiration for all of us. And hopefully that's an inspiration as well for the future Fab Academy students of what is possible, not just during the program, but after the program ends. As a couple were mentioning in the chat, the documentation never ends. They're still documenting. They're still improving their projects if that's one of their goals. And so with that, we want to open up for Q&A. So this is a little space for us to ask any questions. You can put them in the chat, or you can easily unmute yourself and open up your question if you have any doubts. I had a question for Camila, by the way, before you start popping up questions in the chat. Cami, I wanted to ask you because I think when I met you in 2024, sorry about that. You were our undergrad student, or you just graduated from school. So you chose the path of Fab Academy, and are you thinking about college or university, or already you have set your career path with the knowledge that you have learned?
Honestly, that's such an interesting question because the approach of the program in itself, it's really different, you know. So at that point, I already finished my bachelor in graphic design, and currently I'm ongoing and studying pedagogy, like education, as a bachelor as well. So it was quite a big challenge to balance, you know, between Fab Academy and school or like university. But also I felt like after graduating and and finishing that, I noticed that I wanted to learn more, you know, and honestly, the fast pace of Fab Academy allow you to learn a lot in a really short amount of time. So I thought it was the perfect example of, you know, a shift on how I was learning and how I wanted to keep learning. And honestly, pursuing that, it's something that I was looking forward for. But sometimes, you know, the environments are not there, or like they are maybe too in the technical side. And you know, Fab Academy has this technical information, but also allow you to test everything and prototype. So it actually allow you to be learning on the go. And that was really interesting for me because I did homeschooling for a while. So I also was like, okay, you know, learning by your own, it's such a core of myself. So I really, really enjoyed the whole Fab Academy fast pace. And I think even now when I finish it, I still feel like my normal university with studying education, it feels slow now. You know, like I feel like I need for them to be like faster or like, okay, you know. so I think it's kind of like such a good change of mindset afterwards. You know, how you are able to connect ideas quickly, how you're able to take notes quickly, how you're able to even like approach issues. It's so much different in that sense. And I think it's something that I really enjoy in every aspect, but for me especially, the whole structure of learning, it was one of the things that I cared the most because of my past experience with not just learning but teaching, you know. But it was a really interesting contrast for sure.
Thank you so much, Camila. So I think with what Camila just said, basically we are ahead of the curve nowadays, that everything needs to be done fast, quick, on the go, especially with this demanding world. I think it's a great skill to learn. Why not? So yeah, I have a couple of questions in the chat. I don't know who Elia was addressing this too, but I think a couple of you have responded to it. Anyone wants to comment on that answer?
For sure. I think she's asking when you say demanding, what's the most demanding part? Thinking about an actual time that daily life, blah, blah, blah. So first of all, congrats on the new baby that will arrive soon. That's actually super cool. I feel like it's demanding in the sense of deadlines. So how Adrian actually said, you need to plan well. I think also because you have this structure in which each week you will learn something. Also, if you maybe miss the deadline of that week, you can still recover. but the more time it passes, the less time you have. So I think that's really, really important to plan well exactly what's going to happen. For example, when do you have your class? When are you planning to start prototyping? And allow you some time in case of like issues and documenting as well. So in that sense, I think I really like Rico. It will demand minimum 25 hours a week of your life for sure. Like it's quite demanding, not just in the prototyping side, but also on the documentation, because you have to be as detailed as possible, as long as you want as well. But as more detail you add, the better you will understand afterwards, like when you go back to your documentation. And other thing is also that the first weeks you will learn some stuff, and then you will start using those knowledge on the next weeks. So that's why it's important to have your documentation done and as most Polish as you could. So in case you have questions or like you are a little lost in a subject, you can just come back to that.
Thank you very much. That was very helpful, and maybe best to wait 1 year and join next year when the baby's already more sellable.
Thank you. There was another one in the chat. Participating remotely, or do we have the practical? Yeah, this is a bit of what I mentioned. I mean, for Fab Academy, you not only need access to the equipment, you need access to support. Somebody that has done the Fab Academy must instruct you, must guide you. Also, taking the Fab Academy alone, remotely in a makerspace does not do justice to what the Fab Academy experience is. So unless it's absolutely impossible for you to go to any other settled node and work with peers, we will explore the possibility to gather you with other people to make the program. But as a rule, let's say, you need to attend to an active node, one that has all the machines, all the infrastructure, that has run the course a couple of times, that knows about this dynamic. Then they can accompany you throughout the process. And you need an instructor to support you, to help you out with the technical part, to evaluate you. So yes, you do need a specific node to attend to.
I think Hank was also mentioning like if we could explain a little bit of how the week goes. So I'm going to bring up the brochure that we did this year. If you can wait for me a little while, and then I will walk you through what a day. I missed the page. Wait, I need to go back. What a day looks like for students. So I'm going to do a bunch of. Let me see how this goes. Too many screens. Sorry about that. So here, share. So basically a day on Fab Academy looks something like this. This is the class format. This is available in our brochure. We'll be happy to share that with you after the session. But basically starts with student reviews. The first week it does not have a review. It just starts with the lecture. But then it's more on to what's the hands-on work that you need to do. This just takes an hour, 2 hours, I think, the global lecture. Then you have to do the hands-on activities throughout the week. There are also opportunities for global reviews. These are organized depending on the different continents you are located or countries you are located in, so that you can join. This can become part of your weekly task, and also some of them are in your native language. So if it's not in English, maybe it's the Indian community, maybe it's the Spanish community. So that helps you a little bit also understand a little bit more of what this is. And we're also having this global open time that I think Camila came to all of the sessions, if I'm not incorrect. But this is basically where global leads and global support will be available for you at an hour on Saturdays, in order for you to get insights from others, get comments, suggestions on how to do it better, how to do it differently. If you are struggling in any of the different tasks that you are assigned for that week, this is a great space for you to join the Global Open Time. So, and the reviews become this random generated, a generator that selects a student every week, depending on where you are. So this is completely random. So you will be called out and you need to basically explain what you've done for that class. So this is basically what a class format looks like. We invite you to join or look at it in our brochure for this year, and that will give you more insights of what the program is about. Any other questions for the participants remotely? That was answered as well. I don't know. I'm reading questions in a different order, I think. But I think we have. Yeah,
Can I
sure.
interrupt a little bit? So there's a lot of I don't want the 25 hours a week or 30 hours a week to be something that scares off students. It's not, don't think of it as time wasted. Think about it as time required. For instance, like if you want to be a bodybuilder, you're going to have to do those 60 sit-ups or whatever it is every single day, or else you'll never get to that goal. The point of this time spent is that you'll be researching, prototyping, learning, documenting, becoming better and better and better every single week with every hour that you spend working on the assignment required to graduate. So at the end of the program, you might have put in hundreds of hours, and it will be well reflected in the final project that you will produce and the quality of the documentation that you will make. And for those of you who are looking to do this to get a better job, it will make getting that job like 1,000 times easier because you will have something to show for it, something concrete, demonstrable, and proof.
And I also think that Rico is completely right as well. You're not doing the program by your own. You have an instructor that it will help you in case you encounter an issue or something that you don't know how to do it. So that's something really important. And there also you will have uh, a big community behind you. For example, how Anorella mentioned, the Global Open Time on like during the week, it was such an important place for not just share your progress, but also fix some questions that you have or how to explain things. And so I think it's quite interesting how every week you will have to do something, but you will learn little by little, and then that you will have this learning curve at the end of it. So
Yeah, about the question of the final project requirements. Every week you learn, for example, one technique, 3D printing, laser cutter, electronics, input devices, output devices. Every week you are learning a new topic. Okay, you need to document this new topic, and at the end, May, at the end of May, you need to think and make your final project as soon as possible. Every people who come to the Global Open Time, we say, please, as soon as possible, search and think your final project. Because if you're searching and looking for your final project as soon as possible, at the end of the Fab Academy is more easy for you to understand your final project and the level of your final project. Okay. For this reason, there are requirements. We can look, for example, in the students bootcamp. You can join us and you can look about the final project.
Thank you so much, everyone, for their inputs and comments and helping us answer questions from different potential students. Well, I'm not going to call them potential students. You're going to be joining this year. It's going to be fun. Especially also, just a reminder, we are going to be celebrating the 25-year anniversary of Fab Labs this upcoming year, the 2026. So I think it's going to be a big milestone for not just for the community, but also for students that want to join us this year, because we're not just creating a program, but we're creating the roadmap for the next 25 years of what digital fabrication technology and education mean. So yeah, it's a big milestone for all of us, and we would love for you to be part of that experience. Uh, is going to be the biggest change. I don't know. Ivan is asking about this that this edition will go. We are starting Be the Fab. Where is it? Be the Fab Academy 2.0, which is going to be the biggest change. We don't know. I think it's something that we are doing as we go. There's changes in terms of faculty. So it for the last couple of years, Neil has been the solo provider of our content curation, doing the global lectures. This year, we're going to divide ourselves. So we're bringing in some resources and people with different experts in different fields, plus the experience and expertise of our global leads that will support Neil in this journey. So he will not be so present in all the classes, but we will have him present. So I think it's going to be a different, but we feel that it's going to be meaningful for students because we will have different points of views, different expertise that will help you elevate the knowledge that we already do through Fab Academy. So yeah, I don't know if there's any other additional question. We have 4 minutes left. But yeah, I think this has been a great experience. Thank you all for the ones that joined. Thank you for the ones that participated in helping us build this narrative for our students. And we hope that this creates an insight of what you're going to experience for the next 6 months as we start this in January. And that creates meaningful experience for not just our potential students, our future students, but also for our global faculty and instructors. So if there's no more questions, feel free to reach out to us in any of our social media channels, in any of our emails. We're happy to respond. If we don't have the answer, we'll find the person that has the answer for you. So we're here to help you and support you in all this journey. And thank you so much for joining us and hope to see you in January. Bye.